Alright, so there are several different versions of Lightbot. And what I want you to do today is to play specifically Lightbot 2. I think Kongregate might be the least annoying of the sites as far as advertisements go, but it doesn't really matter. It's the same game on all of them. Now, I don't want you just to play. I want you to work as a group. And the way that I want you to do this is to actually communicate with each other, help each other work together. So let me press play and I'll kind of explain what I'm talking about. So here we have just sort of the start, and if we have main mode here, we have these different levels. You want to start up here at basics. However far you get, awesome. If you get, all the way through basics and into recursion, all the way through recursion, awesome. If you don't, that's okay too, as long as you're doing it the way that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to click basics for right now. So this is basics 1, right? So if I click, here it is. Now there's not a whole lot of instructions here, right? You're going to have to figure out sort of how things work, try things out, see what happens. It does guide you through some of it, and it does give you some clues, so it shouldn't be too bad. Now, don't just go through and do whatever. While you can do that in this without any issues, that doesn't necessarily give you the best foundation for what you're going to need to do in this class for some of the different tasks and some of your large projects. So what I want you to do instead is I want in your team you guys to have sort of 3 different roles: a planner, a programmer, and a documenter. So for example, before we do anything, the planner would need to say, like, what is our intent? What are we trying to do? And so essentially, if I open up Photoshop, and you can do this on paper, you don't have to do this in Photoshop, but let's just say we have that there, and we have this here, and we do File New, so we have a canvas. And so Lightbot needs to move forward, right? Like 3 spaces or something, or maybe not even, just, I don't know. You can decide how specific you want to be. But basics 1, move forward, right? And so that's our plan. And so we can try it out. And so if that's what we agree on, then we try programming it. So the programmer, well, as a group you guys would discuss, so we see 1, 2, 3, he needs to move forward 3 spaces. Programmer would input that in. Oh, and it actually says run. Now we know we need to run further than that because that's what we decided based on the planning. So move forward again, move forward again. Alright, that looks good, right? So we can say run because that's what we decided. Alright, so obviously we're missing something. Something didn't quite go right because the level isn't complete. So our documenter would be able to say, let's see, this is planning. That it's hard to write nice with the mouse. So you can do this on some paper instead, and that will be much more efficient. So basics 1, attempt 1, bot is in the right place, but something's wrong. It's in the right place, but something is wrong. So then you have to go back to sort of the planning and think about what do we need to try next. And so you can look at your options on Lightbot and try to decide what else could we do, and then the planner should modify the plan. Now if something goes wrong, like you said, like, oh, well, we need to make him spin in a circle, and then you decide like, oh no, spinning in a circle doesn't work, you don't erase it. You don't, like, make it into this black nebulous mark that nobody can read. Instead, you just cross it out, just one line. Because maybe later you find out that maybe you actually did need to do that, but if you've scratched it all out or erased all of it, that data is gone. If you've just struck a line through it, we know you're not doing it, but you can still read it and get some of that data back should you need it. So this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to do this for as far as you get through. So if you get to level 5, cool, you should have planning and documentation all the way through. You could also draw this too if you want. So move forward. So he moves forward, and then he spins in a circle, except we decide that he's not going to spin in a circle. Once again, we don't erase, we just cross out. If the whole plan is a bit marred by that part, we could cross out the whole thing and then just draw a new one. But you don't erase and you don't scribble the whole thing out so you can't see any of it, because that's not helpful should you need it in the future.